Good morning, guys. So I'm doing a quick meal prep this morning. I've been meal prepping for about 15 minutes, and I'm actually just about done. So this week, let's find a lid for that. All right, so it may seem chaotic, but it's actually like really simple right now. I'm just running out of space. I have a really small kitchen, guys. Like if you take a look at my kitchen, I have my stove, a little bit of counter space over here. Most of my prep space is on this side with the little peninsula of the kitchen. If you look over here, you'll see Pepper laying on the dining room table because apparently we let that happen now. Do any of you guys have cats that like they break the rules and you just kind of get tired of it? So you're like, yep, that's the way it is now. That's the way it's gotten. So this week, I'm at home most of the time, so I'm not really focused on prepping for myself. But David has a lot of moving around to do. I am munching on bell peppers that I already chopped. But this week, so David is kind of going all over the place, so he needs to be able to take food with him. So what I am doing right now, so this week's meal prep, I'm doing some chicken and veggie stir fry. So that's going to be really good. And then I'm throwing together a pesto chicken pasta salad. So chicken is in the frying pan behind me. So I'm only turning on my frying pan and my stove today, as you can see. Oven is not getting turned on today. So that kind of keeps everything kind of condensed. Water is boiling for noodles. I totally use ramen noodles for my stir fry. But that's just a personal preference. You can use other noodles. I mean, I think you can even use like spaghetti noodles. If you've listened to me, or any of my clients will tell you, I tell you there's essentially no rules for the kitchen. Like, I am the first to say I'm not a cook. I am a meal prepper, which is, to me, in my head, is different. Because a cook in my head is like the Pinterest recipe perfect. I'm going to let you guys see what I'm doing. I'm literally just chopping onions. So what I think of like a cook is the Pinterest perfect recipes, like all the sauces, all the seasonings, a lot of time. And it like comes out to that like Bobby Flay perfection. I don't even know if he's still relevant. Like, can somebody let me know if Bobby Flay is still relevant? But like, that's what I think about cooking. And to me, that's not what I do. So, I get all these onions in this bowl. I'll move the camera back up. And everything looks totally chaotic in my kitchen right now. It's actually not. It's actually super like controlled right now, which is one of the biggest things that I hear about meal prepping is it's really tedious, it's a lot of ingredients, and that's what I think of for cooking. Like personally, I think of that for cooking, but when it comes to meal prepping, I want it to be as simple as possible. I want a limited number of ingredients. I want everything to be streamlined. I want it to go easily. So I'm making, like I said, I'm making a chicken and veggie stir fry, so I'll be making up like individual bowls for that. And then I'm making up a big thing of chicken pesto pasta. So I'm throwing in top ramen onto the stove. That'll only just take a couple minutes, which is fantastic. My penne is in this red bowl already with onions. And I'm gonna pull out my tomatoes. Because I don't know why, like, tomatoes and pesto just, like, go together. I don't know. They sound really good to me. That's another thing. It's not about recipes. If you have followed me for a while, or if you're new, I don't work off recipes. Like, it's very, very rare that I'm like, oh, I have a recipe for that. Because that's not what cooking is to me. That's not what meal prepping is to me. To me, meal prepping is about good food that goes together. So if you like if your favorite food is chicken and mashed potatoes or like sweet potatoes, make chicken and mashed potatoes. Like do that. You don't have to have a recipe for it. Like, really any recipe, if you think about it, is just accumulation of ingredients. What is my meal prepping? Accumulation of ingredients that go really well together. You know, that's the main thing. I need a bigger knife because I hate chopping tomatoes. I hate chopping tomatoes for one specific reason. They don't like to chop. Like, they don't easily chop like anything else. Like, I feel like their skin is really, not malleable, but like it doesn't, like it'll squish before it cuts. So you need a super, super sharp knife to be able to just get through that skin. That's totally not a tip. That's just, it might be a tip. That's just kind of me, what I like. I'm going to chop up tomatoes. If you guys are hopping on, if you're new to my tribe, if this is the first live that you're listening to, my name is Casey Lee. I'm an online health and fitness coach. I'm a master meal prepper. I'm the author of Becoming a Meal Prep Master that just came out on Amazon. See, what else am I? I'm a fitness coach. I did say that. I finished a degree in exercise and wellness. So I'm extremely well qualified to help you, as I've just been a meal prepper for almost 10 years. I've been a meal prepper for 7 years now. All right, I think I am going to put this last tomato in. And that's the other thing. I don't really measure anything. I know, that's like blasphemy. I get it. But I don't. Because I don't see a real point in that. So, yeah. So again, if you're new to my tribe, my community, this is the first time you're hopping on, I have worked with clients all over the country to learn how to meal prep, to master meal prepping, to master healthy eating, to build in fitness into their journey, whether that be moms, busy women. We all are able to prioritize ourselves. We all are able to make things easier. And meal prepping is all about that. Meal prepping is about making the week easier for you. Like, that is what it's supposed to be. And that's what I make it. So if you have any questions about meal prepping, planning, prepping, what I'm doing, let me know. My cutting board is also like a hot mess. Like I said, I don't like chopping tomatoes. So my cutting board is just a hot mess right now. But if you look at my kitchen, I only really have about 3 things going on right now. So I have chicken going on in the frying pan, top ramen in the big pot, which is almost about done. I have a pot waiting here for stir fry. Oh yeah, this is done. Perfect. I'm gonna push that aside. All right, and what we're gonna do, so I actually already cooked up chicken because I made tacos. So I actually already have chicken for the stir fry, which makes it super easy. So chicken for the stir fry is already done. Just gotta throw it into the pan. So this is different than like the chicken that I have going in the frying pan right now, because that is gonna go into the pesto. So I'm probably gonna make about 10 meals right now. Like I said, I've been cooking only for about half an hour, maybe a little bit less, but we're gonna heat that up. All right, I got pesto for this. So it may look a little chaotic, which is something that I've heard a lot about meal prepping. That a lot of people don't want to try it because they think it's just tedious. It's tedious. It is a lot going on at once. It's multitasking to its max. It doesn't have to be. Everything can work in harmony with each other. And that's like, I can have this pan is heating up, the frying pan's going, I have this just waiting for chicken and pesto. My veggies for the stir fry are already done. Like, it can work very, very well. It doesn't have to be tedious. And it is exactly what we make it to be. And that's another just really beautiful thing. If anyone's watched Great News, like, I love that show. It only was on for 2 seasons. But there's one episode where the mom is, like, making snacks. And she's singing a song. And she's just like, do, making nachos, do, for all my friends. And now I do it all the time. No matter what I'm doing. I'm just like, do. I'm meal prepping. And that's just what it is. If you don't sing while you meal prep, are you actually meal prepping? I don't know. Also just got Pepper behind me on the table, just watching. It's really cool. Yeah, if you're watching the replay too, if you're watching the replay of this, drop a question. Drop about what I'm doing, how I planned it, how I grocery shop, whatever questions you have, drop them in. I'll come back to the video. Or if you go to caseyfitness.com/coaching-calls, I'll put it in the comments, you can actually schedule a 15-minute call with me to ask me any question you want. And that is another beautiful thing, that we can connect on that level as well. All right, so I think this chicken is about done. Cut it open real quick. This one. I honestly love knives with covers because they can go in drawers that otherwise couldn't. Nope, we've still got a little pink. That's another thing. It's not an exact science. We all just kind of go as we know. Alright. So my pan's heating up for stir fry. I'm going to grab it over here. Grab some noodles. So like I said, I'm probably only making about 10 meals today. I've been prepping for about half an hour at this point. Throw in some teriyaki sauce. I have all of my veggies here that I'm going to throw in. And moms, if you have kids that are old enough to help out, have them help out. Like, that way they know what's being made. Or, especially if they're picky eaters, be like, okay, you get to make that. You want that? You get to make it. That'll shut them right up. Same with picky husbands. My fiance is not picky. He'll eat literally whatever I put in front of him, which is a magic gift. But whenever I try to get him to cook, ladies, yeah, it's okay. He does pretty well, but so I'm just throwing a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper in here. So the stir fry, I'm making individual bowls just because it's easier with the pans. I mean, if you have a giant pan and you want to cook it up all at once and then separate into bowls, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. To me, it's faster, just do it one at a time. That way they're portioned as I'm cooking them. I don't do a lot of things that way. Like, one way I could have done this, and that I've done it in the past, is to have one big pan of veggies sauteing up, one big pan of noodles sauteing up, another small dish of chicken, and just making it that way. Again, nothing wrong with that. It's just all how you choreograph the chaos is really how it goes. That's what it can be taken as, choreographing the chaos of meal prepping. Oh goodness. Okay. So I'm gonna put that one to the side. I'm gonna move this. Pesto's gonna go on this. So like I said, I don't have a very big kitchen. One day I'll have a much bigger kitchen. One day. But right now I have a little kitchen and I make the most of it. But I also don't feel the need to turn everything on at once, which is also beautiful. All right. We're going to turn that off. This, let that cool. Right, we just about got the first bowl of stir fry done. I'm going to grab out containers. That was actually why I moved that cutting board. I don't know why I put pesto in that spot. So I actually moved the cutting board over there because I'm done with it. But then I moved pesto into its spot, and I don't know why, because now I'm plating stuff. Oh, good. Okay. So this one. And the great part when I cook bowls like this, like single at a time, the pan gets hotter and hotter, so it makes cooking quicker. Which is an advantage and a disadvantage. An advantage of it's going to cook quicker. A disadvantage is it's going to cook quicker. And it's going to need more attention, which is okay. All right, one bowl down. All right, I'm going to pour. I'll let you guys see what I'm doing. Let me get all of this out. So this is just Kirkland pesto. If you make your own pesto, like, let me know how you make it. Like, I would love to hear that. But I also probably will only make that for super special occasions because I like simplicity. But I also like to know what goes in my food, which is why I like occasionally making things, because then I know exactly what's gone into them. That's gone. Number 2. Number 2 on our stir fry is going. It really is just controlled chaos. Like, I'm moving around everywhere. But for a half hour or 45 minutes or even an hour of moving around quick, I'll have all the meals for a week, which is truly its own reward in my opinion. And that's why I've built the system that I have. I share it with others. I teach it both in private coaching, in the Guilt-Free Eating course, and the Becoming a Meal Prep Master book. You know, there are so many ways to learn the techniques that I've developed and the system that I've developed that makes it easy to meal prep. That makes it really, really easy. Even though when you guys see me on these lives, it looks like controlled chaos. Which again, it is. It absolutely is. It's controlled chaos to the max. But it's also just like a symphony, where there's a lot going on at once, but it all somehow comes together, which I think is beautiful. And at the end of this, there will only be one dishwasher load to do, which is another truly beautiful thing. One load of dishwashers, the kitchen is clean, and there's food in the fridge. All right, so while that is simmering, I'm gonna chop up my chicken here. I'm running out of space again. If you have a big kitchen, I envy you. I do. Because if I had a big kitchen, it would be overrun with containers and probably just the same stuff that I'm doing right now. So I'm just gonna chop this. I'm actually more shredding it with this knife, which is okay because it's going into pasta. So notice I actually don't have any seasoning on this chicken, if you can see it, because I don't want any extra seasoning on the chicken to take away from the pesto taste. Like the pesto, the tomatoes, the onion, all of that, I want it to stay that flavor. because I really like that flavor. But again, it's a matter of preference on that one. Pepper, I swear if you get up on this counter. Right, and there's a little... Get down. All right. There we go. And if any of you guys have pets, I know that you know the life of what just happened. I love her. She's been so nice about just sitting. Oh my goodness. Just sitting on the table and watching me. But now she wants to interact. That's where the problem comes in. All right. So I'm going to grab my pesto pasta. And we're just going to throw that all in. All right, I'm done with this one. Come in. Good girl. Okay, so this, if you can see it. So all this is penne pasta, onion, tomato, and chicken. So I'm just gonna mix it up, but this is probably gonna make about 4 meals. 4 ingredients, 4 meals. Pretty simple there. So the reason why I'm not using the tortellini this time is simply because I didn't go to Costco. I didn't want to go to Costco, so I didn't. And that's a fair enough excuse. You don't want to go to Costco, you don't go. And you use what you have. Which again saves you money because I already had the penne pasta and everything else. So it really saved that. And once it is served to your liking, it's all good. And it just needs to be put into containers. All right. Dish number 2 is about done of our stir fry. So I'm at about 45 minutes right now, which is perfect. This just needs to be plated. The stir fry is about done. This is the second of 3 bowls that I'm gonna make. Delicious. And these are pretty full bowls because David eats a lot. That's just true. And like I said, there's definitely an easier way to bulk cook stir fry. I'm not, just out of personal preference today. You know, and that's, I just keep coming up with like, that's another thing. So that's another thing. Some weeks, bulk prepping might be the right way to go. Some weeks, individual bowl cooking may be the right way to go. There is no wrong answer. And you might learn something. You know, one week you might try bulk cooking and it might be the best thing ever. You know, you may never want to do individual bowls ever again, and that's okay. I'm going to finish off throwing all this in. And that's done. And at this point, I just leave the dishwasher open because then I can just easily throw things in it as I'm finishing up. So I've done bulk cooking stir fry before. I've done individual bowl stir fry before. Neither is wrong. It just depends on where your head's at with prepping, what you want to do, how much food you're making. Definitely cooking it one at a time is slower than cooking it all at once in different pans and kind of doing a build your own. But again, it depends on your week. It depends on what you want. It depends on how you want to meal prep. That's all that matters. All right, I'm going to start plating this while all of that is going on. Right. I'm going to run out of containers here, actually. But I have more. So, in terms of containers, I found mine on Amazon. All the ones that I have or have had have all come from Amazon. And the reason is because you can get like 50 meal prep containers for like 23 bucks. Like, it's phenomenal. Not only do you have a ton of them, but you also don't feel bad for throwing them away. Like, if they get really gross, you're like, it's 50 cents. It's okay. Which is the big thing if you have kids and they do something like leave a container in their backpack for several days, because that's never happened to me with my fiance, you don't feel bad that you're throwing away that container. Like, it honestly feels okay that you're throwing away that container. You don't feel bad because, one, you have so many more, and two, it costs you 50 cents. That's it. So I'm going to pull out, let me see what I have up here. Like, I have one more up here. Which means I'm going to have to pull out some more containers, which is okay. So it looks like this pasta is actually going to make 5 bowls, which is fantastic. So we'll get that 5th bowl out here. And I'm going to need 2 more bowls. And apparently I made it the hardest I could to be able to get new containers out, which I'll rinse these real quick. There is one more thing that I'm going to make today, and it's going to be snack-based, not meal-based. Excuse me. So that's about done. And that's just going to be some peanut butter balls. So they are oats, peanut butter, honey, and chocolate chips. And they make for really, really good snacks. So like David eats them post-practice, in between work and practice. You know, they're really fantastic to make sure that you are full and focused and ready to go. All right, this is about done. Get this last bowl done. Right. Ooh. Last bowl here of our stir fry. This one's going to be a really full bowl. That's okay. Okay. There we go. So that was a 45-minute meal prep, and I've got 3, 6, 7, 8 bowls. So that's all I need this week. So this was a little bit smaller one, but I also use less techniques of making mass amounts of food. So I don't consider this a mass amount of food, I guess. But if you're watching the replay for this video, drop me any questions, comments, praise, any of that. Spread the love. If you're looking to get direct questions answered, go to kcfitness.com/coaching-calls. It'll be in the comments. And schedule a 15-minute call to ask me any question you want about meal prepping, meal planning, fitness, life, Olympics, anything. All right, guys, have a fantastic Monday. I will talk to you guys real soon.